Our friends at the Good Morning Tampa Bay. This is Jeff Stanislow, your host of Let's Go Low, and it's time for another show. We appreciate you guys spending the time with us here talking about golf, from PGA tours to interviews with like the likes of Brittany Lincecum and our caddy corner friend Mike Hicks, who is Payne Stewart's caddy. This episode of Let's Go Low is brought to you by golfersunite.com and our friends at AMAC, the Association of Mature Adult Citizens. So today we're going to go low. We're going to start in the weeds, and we're going to talk to our friend Logan Beach, who is the founder of Sandy Marsh Golf and is an emerging brand. One of the things I like to do here on Let's Go Low is not always talk about the big brands or the big tournament players or the big tournaments that are going on. We got to start with some grassroots efforts, and this is how brands get born. So, Logan, thanks for joining us today out here on the Let's Go Low show.
Thanks, Jeff. Pleasure to be on. I think the more appropriate thing to say maybe would be let's start in the marsh, not the weeds or the grass.
Yes, I like that. I like that. That's a very good spin on it. So yeah, let's start in the marsh. I like it. Sandy Marsh Golf. We're talking with Logan Beach, the founder. So Logan, basically I was online and I was on social medias, and I came across your channel and followed it. And I really like the designs that you kind of came up with. And I know you're starting out, and building some stuff. Let's take us through the story a little bit about, from conceptually, like, hey, I want to start a golf brand, to the branding concepts, to naming it, to all that different types of stuff. So, let's go back and tell us the story.
Sure. Let's give the 40,000 foot view of this. A couple of years ago, I had a really good buddy of mine, Jared Kogas, up in Jacksonville. He's a member of TPC Sawgrass, and we used to play there 2-3 times a day. Or not, sometimes it was a day, sometimes it was a week. It just depended on how we were feeling.
Sure.
And we always made the comment about the pro shop. The designs were really nice, shirts are great, but man, it costs so much money just to get a shirt or some pants or something. And it's not just there, it's at a lot of other places too. And so that's kind of where the wheels started turning. And Jared has always been there, just kind of pushing me along of, hey, you should do this. I've always been a very creative person as well. And so that's kind of how 2 and 2 started. And so I really appreciate the fact that you like our designs. That's something that we have spent a lot of time researching and developing. So that's very nice to hear.
Yes. A couple months back, I went to the TPC Sawgrass for the tournament, the Players Championship, and got access to the Golden Goat. I'm sure you know what the Golden Goat is.
Oh, yes.
So, we got in there. I was fortunate enough. I had a caddy pass with my friend Mike Hicks, Payne Stewart's caddy, and it got us access to the clubhouse, and it actually got us access to the special Golden Goat area. So I know what you mean when we picked up a hat and some shirt and a couple other things, and $600 later, I was happy to do it because it's pretty exclusive there at the Sawgrass. I know some of the tickets, to get in that were like $5 to $10 grand, you had to be a player or a player's family to get in. So I was very fortunate to make that happen.
Very much.
Yeah. So from the concept of playing golf with your friend over at TPC Sawgrass, which is incredible, to, coming up with the brand name. Let's talk about Sandy Marsh Golf. This is Logan Beach, the founder of Sandy Marsh Golf. And you're listening to the Let's Go Low show here on AM 820 in Tampa Bay, brought to you by golfersunite.com and our friends at AMAC, the Association of Mature Adult Citizens, amac.us. So tell us about the branding concepts.
Yeah, so the whole name, where this all started from, actually is based off of where I live. I live in Tampa, been born and raised here in the area. And so I more specifically live in Port Richey, little tiny town on the coast. And we have a lot of marshlands here and a lot of golf courses. Ironically, we have a lot of golf courses that are built in the marsh and around the marsh. And so uh, my parents, they also live in Lakeland, and they have tons of golf courses there, but their golf courses over there are sandy, um, or hard pack. It's kind of a mix up between the two. And so I thought, well, what better way to combine a little bit of my family, a little bit of me, and put it all in one instead of coming up with some generic name. Give something that has a little bit of meaning, and means something to people who live in Florida, specifically the Tampa area. So that's kind of where the whole name came from, and our branding is my two favorite birds. It's a sandhill, red sandhill cranes. Sorry. They're my favorite birds. If you've ever seen them, they're usually on the golf courses. And so those two birds combined with the name, absolutely perfect. Love it. And I think it really just encases everything that Florida is about, more specifically what Tampa and Central Florida is about.
Yeah, I think that's really good, to have kind of a passion. I mean, a lot of people just, don't spend a lot of time, energy, and effort really thinking about their brand and understanding the significance. And I love that Sandy Marsh Golf is, combines you and your parents, and it's got a lot of meaning behind it.
Yeah.
And that, obviously I live in Tampa and play both the sandy courses and the marsh courses quite often here. And I see those, the red sandhill cranes that you talk about, and they are a beautiful bird. So we're talking with Logan Beach from Sandy Marsh Golf. He is the founder and creator of the brand. So moving forward now, Logan, tell us a little bit about, the business side of things. So you came up with a brand name, you came up with a nice logo, which I really like, and I think it resonates. And hopefully you guys get to check it out. We'll tell you where to check that out here in a minute. But tell us a little bit about where you're at now. So you are, you're selling apparel. Let's talk about what apparel you're bringing to the marketplace, and maybe a little bit of that journey, like, sourcing the shirts, or, your journey there, because it is a journey, that's for sure.
It definitely is, Jeff. It's not something that you would think about. Initially, you would think that, oh, I'm just going to start this company and I can just go on Google and Google's just going to spit out all the answers and I'll be fine. Unfortunately, that's not how that works. You do have to put in some time and effort. And so it all started with a Google search. Then it started with talking to some folks at TPC, talking with some folks down here at my local course. Actually getting to talk to a couple of smaller brands as well that have started out, or are starting out, and seeing where they go, seeing how they're sourcing their stuff. That's kind of how we started. And it's very challenging. There's a lot of sources out there. There's a lot of different avenues that you can go to. But with us, we wanted to focus on being something that is environmentally sustainable. We are looking to move everything over to the United States. Those are just some things that we feel are very important to us. Especially being here in Florida, we would love to, especially anything with environmental conservation, we definitely love trying to get involved in that, and any way that we can do that, we try to. And so with that, we're coming out with just a very limited stock for right now. We have some men's polos, men's shorts, and then for our women's, we actually have a really nice skirt, and we have a couple different colors for the men's and the women's that we're going to be dropping for the polos and the shirts. And my fiance, Brooke, I know nothing about women's fashion, so I'm not going to ever say that I do. My fiance...
You got a good partner to help you out with that. That's fantastic.
I do. Brooke is fantastic, and she is the fashionista. She is all about it. And so I have let her handle that, and she has designed a couple of really nice pieces that I think the ladies are going to enjoy. And It's Florida. It's hot. You're playing golf. You don't want to be wearing long sleeve stuff or heavy stuff. So
Sure.
Brooks chosen a lot of materials and things that are, fitting for Florida weather as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. We're talking with Logan Beach, the founder of Sandy Marsh Golf, talking about his journey in building an emerging golf brand, an apparel golf brand, and just the process that it goes through. So you went out and you've probably got some samples from some providers on the shirts and the materials, and kind of everybody knows the big brands, but those big brands are also all made usually overseas by different suppliers from
Yes.
anywhere from China. You probably have a lot of your kind of brands that you see with the lower price points, and then you have some really high quality manufacturers in the Philippines and Taiwan and Mexico, and it's all about the threads and the type of materials that you use.
Yes.
This is Jeff Stanislaw. You're listening to another great episode of Let's Go Low here on AM 820, the Big 8. Every Saturday morning, you can catch us here between 8 and 9. This episode is brought to you by Golfers Unite, and that's golfersunite.com. We'll put this episode along with all of our episodes online at golfersunite.com, and our friends at AMAC, the Association of Mature Adult Citizens, amac.us. So you're getting ready to, launch your brand. Why don't you tell people how they can find you if they'd like to check out Sandy Marsh Golf, your apparel lines?
Sure. So we are going to start officially dropping things June 1st. That is when we are going to be planning on turning everything from pre-sale to order now. So as long as everything's good, keep up with our socials. You can follow us on Facebook at Sandy Marsh Golf, Instagram, same exact thing, Sandy Marsh Golf, or online at sandymarshgolf.com. You can follow us there and we'll provide some updates. But as of right now, June 1st is looking to be the drop date. So like I said, we have a limited amount of stuff that's coming out and limited numbers of that. So if you want to get in, I would recommend getting in quick because the pre-orders are going and we're about 75% of the way sold out.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's really great news. Logan Beach, the founder of Sandy Marsh Golf. We got another minute or two. Why don't you tell us a little bit about, your vision for Sandy Marsh Golf, this year, and then, and maybe beyond. What's your goals? Are you trying to get a green grass effort? You want to get into, clubhouses? You're going to focus online, and then maybe a little bit about your marketing, some of the challenges that you went through.
Yeah, so at least for right now, we are all online at the moment. We are going to work towards having some brick and mortar stores in the Tampa area. We are working towards that, but as you know, that just takes time. So we'll get there, and we're working with some folks to get that done. As it pertains to pro shops, if you're in the Tampa Bay area, specifically towards Hudson, Spring Hill, that kind of area, be on the lookout in the next couple of weeks/months because we are going to start making some appearances at some shops. Won't be anything crazy, so don't expect a huge display, but if you're in the Hudson, Spring Hill, that kind of area, be on the lookout because we will be at a couple of pro shops.
Yeah, fantastic. When you get those pro shops, let us know. We'll update the information on golfersunite.com when we post this, and so people can find the pro shops that you get into. Logan Beach from Sandy Marsh Golf. And you can find them on the socials at Sandy Marsh Golf, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and at Sandy Marsh Golf. And you can search up in Google at Sandy Marsh Golf. You're listening to Jeff Stanislaw here on the Let's Go Low show. Tell us a little bit about your social medias. How challenging has that been for you in growing those social media accounts? And just tell us a little bit about that experience.
It has changed a lot, Jeff. I'll tell you that. I ran a business when I was 13. I started a saltwater fish aquarium business, and all of that was online. And that was right at the cutting edge of social media, So it's changed a lot. Before, you could post a couple of posts and you'd have the next day a couple thousand views and likes. You post a video and the next day you have 100,000 views and a couple thousand follows, and that's not really how it works anymore. You have to try a little bit harder. You got to have something that really captivates people, and you got to captivate them quick because their attention spans are pretty short. So it's definitely challenging when you're just showing a product, but look out in the next couple of weeks. We haven't been real active on the socials, but that's because our team behind the scenes has been doing some cool stuff. So be on the lookout for a couple videos and funny bloopers and things like that are coming up.
Sure. Yeah, you got to clear through the clutter on social medias, and you got about just a few seconds to have them continue to watch. So it's been quite an experience, even here for Golfers Unite, as we look to build our brand and what have you. So Logan Beach from Sandy Marsh Golf, I appreciate your time and thanks for joining us here on the Let's Go Low show, and we'll keep tabs and see if we can't help you out.
Thanks so much.